My name's Charles Bowling, and the company I decided to do for my HRM project is called the Stock Market Country Store. It is located in Rockdale County, Georgia. The mission statement and strategic plans of the company. The mission statement, it was good, it was very precise and descriptive. It included the customers as well as the product and services, the core values, and the vision of the company to where they believe they're going to go into the future. The strategic plans of the company, it used to be more of a low cost strategy, and that used to be it because they used to be a farm utility store for all your farm necessities. That if you were a farmer and you had to get something, that would be the store to go. Local in your area, it was very cheap and had a wider range of all farm products. But recently, since there's been a decrease in farms over the past few decades, they have changed that plan to a more differentiated plan to where they offer over 80 different kinds of dog food, over 30 different kinds of cat food, over 100 different kinds of bird food. They still include farm necessities like fencing and gates and feed for your cows and horses. They also offer food for exotic pets like rabbits and llamas and all that, everything. They have apparel for you, like boots and clothing. They also have apparel for dogs, as well as pens and crates and mats for them and all of that. They have a veterinarian come in about once a month normally to assist all of the customers of the Stock Market Country Store. If they have a pet, then they can come in, bring them there instead of a vet. So it's a lot more convenient. The philosophy of HRM, they view their employees as a competitive advantage instead of a cost. There, it's very friendly and family oriented. They treat each other like family there. Their current employees are valued greatly because of once you start working there, you're treated like family, and the current employees, they'll do about anything they can to keep you working there and to keep you there instead of somebody new coming in. Organizational demands, company characteristics, like I said, they're close like family. They care a lot about each other. They also offer training classes for the employees for every department that there is available in the company. They also cross-train employees because there's a lot of switching and moving around job positions in the company to see which worker works best where. The culture there, as soon as you walk in, you get hit with that traditional country feeling of it being laid back and just a nice feeling overall. Employee concerns, I couldn't really find any employee concerns because the work-life balance there seemed to be quite balanced. It wasn't any issues with that I could find. Environmental influences, technology, it was very well organized, and even from their website, it was friendly for all devices I could find. And even in their in-store technology, from the cashiers and the computers that they use to the warehouse workers' technology that they use on the back, all of it's been efficient, and they've reported no issues with it so far. So far so good. They follow. They secure a customer's credit card with a socket secure layer, and they follow all PCI DSS requirements, which is good, so the customer doesn't have to really worry about the credit card being stolen and all that kind of stuff. Ethics and responsibility, they do have a code of conduct, but they do not know where it is. I suggested them that they either make a new code of conduct and make it accessible to where even the customers and all the employees can see it at whatever time they would like, or find their old one and do the same, make it accessible, make sure it still meets the criteria of the present issues going on. Regulatory issues of the company, well, since there's workers there that are over 40 years old, they follow the Age Discrimination and Employment Act of 1967. They also follow the Civil Rights Act of 1964 as well as the Equal Pay Act of 1963. There has been issues in the company of threats going around in the past, but since those threats, they resolved those immediately and started enforcing more rules and laws to make sure that hasn't happened, and it hasn't happened recently, which is good. Job analysis and work design. Job design, well, they believe that the employees that work there, they think it's the best if they bring their own characteristics, which is different than others, because more diversity is better. They believe that there as well. Specialization is used somewhat in the company in terms of them finding maybe one worker isn't that great in this one position, and they'll switch him over to another position to see where he works best before getting rid of him. They'll try to do every possibility before getting rid of their workers. They do conduct job analysis about once a month, which is, I'd say, good for the company that they are. They do it once a month to know which areas and which departments need more attention and which ones don't need much attention. They'll move their employees to where it fits, and that's what I was kind of saying earlier, how they move their employees around. The job descriptions of some of the jobs I got, well, this is just a few of them. It's cashiers, the warehouse workers, managers, receiving clerk, and there's more, but those are just some of the few ones I got. The job descriptions, they were detailed. They included the responsibilities, the duties, and pretty much what you would ask for a job description. But there was a few things that they should include, which was the position number, who they report to, and the salary grade of the job that they would be hiring for or getting hired for. Workforce planning, they try the employees in different areas, see if they're not good there, they'll see if you're good here. They do cross training for exactly that, so you can be trained in multiple areas. They move around a lot. This company is more of, I'd say, a high schooler company. Like, they prefer high school students. There is a lot of part-time jobs there. There is a few full-term jobs, so high schoolers, it would be a good one. There is overtime available, but it's not preferred. But in some situations where it's required, then yes, there is overtime. They avoid attrition because of the stress that it can cause. They have noticed this from the past, how if somebody quits, say, they will try to fill in that position as quickly as possible. And by them doing that, they will first use internal, because they conduct an employee inventory, which is good, so they can see the skills and assets that these employees that they currently have, and they can see which one might be working best there. Current recruitment practices, internal, mainly promotions. They don't do much job postings within the company, like within the store. There is a few once in a while, but there's not much. Most of their recruitment is done external from their website. I didn't think this was a great idea, because if nobody's ever heard of the Stock Market Country Store before, then they would never know it exists, and they would never come across an application of this store from any other website, like Indeed or anything. It's all on their website, so you have to go through their website to apply, which is kind of limiting the candidates available. And I think they should include more sources so they could get more potential candidates and more diversity. There is no internships there. They, like I said, they need another source for recruiting. The selection processes, the employment application, I found it legal. I didn't find anything illegal in it, which is good. The education field was very precise and very descriptive. The fields that could have been worked on a little bit was the skill for the candidates field. There wasn't much skills, like to where you could only put like one or two skills and that's it. I believe that they should have more of a skill and ability section on their employment, so they can look at it and see what skills and abilities that these candidates have. The interviews that they conduct there are structured interviews, and they do have a particular manager to conduct those interviews, which is good, so there's not as much bias in Yeah, there's not as much bias going on in the interviewing process as other companies do have. There is no physical test whatsoever, even for the warehouse workers. They aren't required to take any physical test. They're just required to fill out the application and do an interview. It's pretty basic. Um, Overall, the stock market country store is pretty detailed, and they have all of their everything they need to have. They're following the laws correctly. They have all their documents that are required correctly, even though they don't know where the code of conduct is. Hopefully they'll get that sorted out. And besides that, that's really about it. Well, thank you.